By late 1944, the Western Front had become a battlefield of steel and fire. The Allied armies were pushing into Germany after the Normandy landings, but everywhere they went, they faced the terror of the Tiger tanks. These massive German machines, armed with a fearsome 88mm gun, seemed almost invincible. American Shermans, fast and numerous, with a backbone of the U.S. armored divisions. But they were painfully outmatched when facing Tigers head-on. Stories spread among American crews of Shermans being destroyed from over a mile away, their shells bouncing harmlessly off German armor. For the Germans, the Tiger symbolized invulnerability. Tank crews believed their thick frontal armor made them untouchable by anything the Allies could field. Their confidence grew with each engagement as Shermans were forced to rely on overwhelming numbers, artillery, or air power to bring them down. To the German tanker, the battlefield seemed firmly tilted in their favor until the Americans unveiled a weapon they had kept in reserve. That weapon was the M26 Pershing. Unlike the Sherman, this was a true heavy tank designed in response to the German Big Cats. It carried a 90mm M3 gun, a weapon with armor-piercing power comparable to, and in some cases surpassing the Tiger's 88mm. After years of debate and delay, the U.S. Army finally decided to deploy the Pershing in Europe in early 1945. The arrival of the Pershing was quiet at first. A handful of units received the new tanks during the push into Germany. To the average GI, it was just another tank rolling forward. But to the crews inside, it was a revelation. They finally had something that could stand toe-to-toe with the Tiger and Panther without relying on luck or sacrifice. The thick armor of the Pershing could withstand hits that would have torn Shermans apart, and its 90mm gun gave American gunners a deadly edge. The first encounters were a shock to the Germans. Outside Cologne in March 1945, a famous duel unfolded. A Tiger. I rumbled through the streets of the ruined city, confident as ever. But waiting nearby was a Pershing crew, watching through the smoke and rubble. When the Tiger exposed itself, the Pershing fired. Its 90mm round tore through the German tank's armor, sending flames erupting into the sky. For the first time, an American tank had destroyed a Tiger in open combat without overwhelming numbers or trickery. Word spread quickly among German tankers. Whispers began to circulate about a new American tank, one that could pierce even the strongest armor. For soldiers who had long believed their Tigers were unstoppable, the thought was unsettling. Still, many dismissed it as propaganda or a rare fluke. Few realized that more Pershings were on their way and that the tide of armored warfare on the Western Front was beginning to shift. The Pershing's arrival did not mean the end of the Sherman, which remained the most numerous American tank, but it marked the beginning of a new era. For the first time, U.S. tank crews felt they had a fighting chance against the dreaded German Big Cats. For the Germans, the battlefield was no longer a place of armored supremacy, but one of growing doubt. As the war pressed deeper into Germany in 1945, the Pershing began to see more action. American crews grew confident in their new weapon, testing its strength against the Tiger and Panther tanks that had once dominated the battlefield. The Germans, however, were still largely unaware of just how dangerous the Pershing truly was. Most German commanders assumed the Allies would continue to rely on Shermans, using numbers to overwhelm their panzers. After all, the Sherman had been the standard for years. When German tankers first heard reports of Shermans firing shells that actually penetrated Tiger armor, many dismissed it as battlefield exaggeration. But the truth soon became undeniable. The Pershing's 90mm gun proved devastating in combat. It could knock out Tigers at ranges where Shermans had once been helpless. Its high-velocity rounds punched through even the thick frontal plates of the Panther once thought to be impregnable. In several recorded duels, Pershings destroyed German tanks before they could even get off a shot. The sense of superiority that German tank crews had carried since 1942 was suddenly shattered. One chilling effect of the Pershing's arrival was the psychological blow it dealt. German tankers who once entered combat with supreme confidence began to feel a creeping uncertainty. Each time they faced American armor, they wondered, was this another weak Sherman, or was it one of the new Pershings that could kill them with a single hit? That doubt gnawed at their nerves, eroding the aura of invincibility the Tiger once carried. For the Americans, morale soared. Pershing crews reported feeling for the first time equal to their German adversaries. They no longer had to rely solely on numbers, ambushes, or support from artillery and aircraft. Instead, they could meet Tigers and Panthers heat-in and prevail. This boost in confidence spread across U.S. armored units, giving them momentum as they pressed further into the heart of Germany. The Pershing was not without flaws. It was slower and less maneuverable than the Sherman, and mechanical issues plagued its early models. But its battlefield impact was undeniable. Even in limited numbers, it shifted the balance of armored warfare. By the war's final months, the German armored divisions were a shadow of their former strength. Resources were scarce, fuel was nearly gone, and replacement tanks could not keep pace with losses. Against this backdrop, the Pershing was more than just a new weapon. It was a symbol that the tide had irreversibly turned. When German tankers finally realized the full extent of what they faced, it was too late. The Pershing had arrived at the exact moment when Germany could least afford a new powerful enemy tank. Every Tiger destroyed by a Pershing was not just a tactical loss, but a crushing blow to German morale. In the ruins of German cities and the forests of the Rhineland, the clash of steel echoed one last time. The Tiger, once the terror of the battlefield, was now hunted, and the Pershing, with its deadly 90mm gun, had proven that American armor could stand shoulder to shoulder with the best of the Reich and win.
Thanks for watching my video. Please one comment type. Thanks.